Welcome to TechnoloFria. Today's review is the 2016 MacBook Pro with Touch Bar. Let's get started. So here's a quick rundown of the specs on my specific machine. I have the 15-inch version in space gray with the maxed out pre-built specs, which include the 2.7 GHz Intel Core i7, 16 GB of RAM, the 512 GB SSD, and the Radeon 455 graphics card. Taking a look at the outside of this machine, you can tell that it's just extremely thin and well designed. They've done a really good job at slimming down an already slim machine, but some may argue it's not worth it due to the sacrifice of regular I/O. I, on the other hand, don't really mind. USB-C basically is appearing to be the future, so it might as well jump ahead of the curve instead of just lagging behind like the rest. So other than form factor, what has Apple improved on with this model? First off, I'm going to have to say the screen. It is absolutely fantastic. It's so rich and vibrant, capturing the P3 color gamut and over 500 nits of brightness. This panel is amazing. My second favorite feature for the machine is without a doubt the Butterfly keyboard version 2.0. This keyboard has excellent key travel. It just sounds fantastic. Everything is just well lit. It all functions just extremely well, and I owned the first generation through the 2016 MacBook 12-inch model, and I have to say that this keyboard in its second version is already the best keyboard I've ever used, so I'm excited to see where things are going. Apple is well known for making fantastic trackpads, and this new model is certainly no exception. While some may fear that the extra real estate may result in accidental clicks, the trackpad has excellent palm rejection when typing and ensures that any unwanted clicks or gestures are not recognized by the machine. So what about the touch bar? For me, the touch bar is sort of a mixed bag. While I do appreciate the increased flexibility of being able to add actionable shortcuts right above the keys, it does make for normal functions such as changing the volume or key brightness a little more difficult to do without looking. For the first few weeks of ownership, I struggled to find the touch bar's added utility, and it wasn't until I installed Better Touch Tool that I found how the touch bar could best benefit me. This app allows you to create a bar of app-specific shortcuts that can be used for a variety of different tasks. I have several buttons laid out for Final Cut Pro. I have a button just dedicated to my school, which will open up my school's website, my textbook, and a pre-populated Word document with all my citations, all with one click. Whenever a company decides to make a product thinner, it seems that battery life is one of the first features to be sacrificed. In my first few weeks of ownership, this was my reality, as I was only experiencing 4 to 6 hours of battery life with light use. Fast forward a week or two and a software update later, and I now have a consistent and respectable 8 to 10 hours of battery life. While this machine is certainly beautiful and well crafted, the amount of fingerprints it collects is simply absurd. This is especially true for the screen, which consistently shows a smudgy outline of the keyboard upon opening it from its closed position, and this becomes even more noticeable when the screen is dimly lit. While I place a microfiber chamois between the keyboard and the screen each time I close it, the screen never fails to collect any dust and oil that may be present on top of the keys from recent use. While we no longer have Apple's beloved MagSafe connector for charging, they have done an excellent job at decreasing the amount of time it takes to charge the machine. This thing charges fast, like quick charge fast. So with all this being said, where do we stand? Should you buy the 2016 MacBook Pro with Touch Bar? If you happen to be looking for an upgrade and you are already dedicated to Apple's ecosystem on professional tools, then yes. If not, I could see many users just as happy with last year's model or a comparable Windows machine. Don't get me wrong, I love this machine, and it's perfect for my specific use, but all things considered, it's an evolutionary update, not a revolutionary one. If you liked the video, go ahead and click the thumbs up, and if you'd like to be one of the first to see my next review, go ahead and subscribe. This is your host, Hammy. I'll see you in the next one.